Okay, so my name is Mark Strefford. I'm the co-founder of a company called theweddingvine.com. My business partner and wife, Victoria, who's the expert in the wedding industry, is ill tonight. She lost her voice, so hence I'm doing the pitch. So, what is the Wedding Vine? There you go. So, Wedding Vine is an online wedding portal. It's aimed at discerning and style-conscious brides. So the brides who really want to spend, do something much more different with their wedding than I guess the traditional just white wedding in the church and that kind of stuff. We aim to be a one-stop shop for finding luxury wedding inspiration, leading suppliers and pros. So where we are now, we're seeking investment to fund recruitment of key staff, website development and sales and marketing. So there's a lot of talk at the moment about there being a recession. Big question is how does it impact the market? So the wedding market over many years has been very, very resilient. It's quite sizable. It's about £5 billion in the UK and about $20 billion in the US. We estimate that about £500 million of that is for aspirational luxury weddings. So by aspiration we mean the people who are prepared to spend the UK average of 20k up to 100k and more for their wedding. Some people will come to us and look at the site for everything, others will come for just that one thing. They might want the great dress or the nice venue. In terms of current websites out there and magazines, one thing that's quite obvious when you speak to the real top designers is that the current media is aimed at mass market, and they don't see necessarily the brand alignment that they're really looking for. So these are the people who are prepared to spend, sell dresses for £5,000 at a time. They're saying the current market is not meeting what they're looking for. So revenue streams. Primary one that we're looking for funding for is to help develop an online store, focusing primarily on luxury products. This is in development now, so we're looking to launch it early in 2011. We're speaking to many of the UK leading designers right now, and we've even secured an exclusive agreement in principle from one designer for their latest product range. So they have, and they've been speaking to a number of other people, but they've chosen us specifically because they like the look and feel of the site and the way it works. Okay, so successes to date. We've had a site up for about 18 months, but the site that really, portrays the luxury brand that we want was launched in May of this year. We've got a high-profile client base, so a couple of examples. Suzanne Neville, who designs dresses for the X Factor. Ian Stewart, who's won a Lifetime Achievement Award for the British bridal industry. Sulee Castle, where Liz Hurley got married. So we've got a number of people who are on board or really keen to work with us. Pardon? Well, where she did get married a while ago. I know, yeah. So we've spent a lot of the last year getting the site to a point where we've got these relationships and people want to work with us. Without actively having an aggressive sales force, we have managed to secure, go back a bit, about 10k of revenue up to the end of October this year. So that's hand-based revenue, and it's not something we've massively targeted either. So company structure, Victoria's the CEO. She's been in the wedding industry as a wedding planner in Cheshire for about 8 years now. The wedding of the guys like printing.com, people like that, so knows the industry quite well. My background is in IT, so I work for an IT specialist as a program delivery consultant. Probably look to bring in a couple of non-execs as part of this just to help shore up the management team. Sean does website development. He's very experienced and developing sites that are in quite competitive industries. And we're looking potentially to bring in some business development people as well, help open doors to venues and other products. So first year objectives, want to increase our revenue up to 93,000 the first year, develop e-commerce and the online styling capabilities that we want on the site. We see that increasing our brand awareness is key, so we need specific advertising and marketing. We don't necessarily want to advertise everywhere, but there's a couple of magazines and other websites that we quite like to go for. And also because we're looking to do product sales, we're looking down the pay-per-click route as well. Current forecasts show that we're going to be cash flow positive by about month 14. And we were keen to bring on our some industry veterans, some people who are used to building e-commerce sites and that kind of stuff to help us as we go forward. So in summary, we're looking for an investment of around 150k at this time. Growth is to fund growth, and that's through help people to help us. in terms of site administration and product knowledge. Business development and marketing we see as key, and probably smaller extent website development. So in summary, the wedding vine aims to take advantage of a definitive shift to luxury in the wedding market. We're offering a solid business proposition, we believe we are, and we do have an experienced management team. So that's it. Okay.
Am I right in thinking that the idea is that as a one-stop portal for an aspirational wedding, you would make a commission from placing the referral business onto third parties?
So at the moment the revenue we've got is, I don't like to use the term, but almost like a directory, so people have paid to place ads on our site. The revenue that we're looking to generate through the store is effectively other people's products through our site, so we will take, I think the revenue, the split is around 50-50, so for a £300 tiara we keep 150 and 150 we go to the designer. There's some costs that come out of our end.
You mean for the dress? For the dress,
dresses are a tough one. Not many designers are prepared to have them sold online, so what the store initially is targeting accessories, jewellery, favours and that kind of thing. The designers are very keen that people actually go into dress shops to try dresses on. I know Net-a-Porter sells some, and we would look to get in that area, but day one is probably not what we'll do.
Excuse me, what favours?
Things you have on the table, when you sit down for your wedding meal, you've got like little box of chocolates and things. You can get some for £3. You can get
It's not bad.
Yeah. There's a booming industry.
Sometimes really expensive though.
Yeah.
I was doing recently, I was amazed by
you can
what
get.
They call favours.
Yeah, you can get like little mini like aftershaves and perfumes and things now, and like you get 20 quid a sample. You order a guest and see. That's all.
So are you also talking about all the ancillary photography, honeymoon?
Yes, that's where we're looking to go. So we do have, in the direction at the moment, we've got a number of venues, quite a lot of photographers. Honeymoons is an area we haven't really got into, but we do see there's a big demand in that area, and we do want to, which haven't quite cracked it,
So is it in the back of the site? Is there an aspirational configurator? So can it?
In what way?
Well, I'm struggling to understand exactly what it is. It does.
Have you got internet access to it?
Yes, should have.
I'm wondering whether or not if I'm the sort of God forbid, if I was the sort of bride that had £100,000 spent on a wedding, could I go onto this site and start choosing various elements of the package I want and store them online and go back and visit them and run it like a project, or does it?
At the moment, no, you can't. Quite a lot of the people at that price may potentially use wedding coordinators anyway, but this is, so we've got a whole bunch of ideas on the site that you can go through and see weddings that people have done to get ideas. What we want to do is pull these ideas into the store and everything, so you can buy what you want. Just going through, we've got like the venue portfolio as well. So you can say, right, this is one of our venues down south. You can start to have a look through and say, actually, quite like that venue. One of the key challenges we have with our venues is there's good advertising revenue to be had there if you get it right. The thing we really want to do is track that someone sees it on our site to book in the venue, but because it's not done online, it's hard to do that transaction. So the thing that will really, I guess, pull this site together would be to bring on that online store, so that people can buy the products through the site.
Is there any pricing on there for that venue?
No, we don't. There isn't at the moment, no.
So somebody could look at that as a venue and then call them directly?
They could do, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So at the moment it's aimed to be that research to find ideas. What we want to do is translate those ideas into things that people can actually buy and take forward. So.
I can see the online shop where, if there's a tiara there, people might not necessarily know where to go to buy it from directly, but some of the things like venues, people can go directly.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why, and managing me pushing me to pitch tonight for about 3 months, I think, and I've been reluctant to do, because I think over the last 2 months we've really realised that some of the things on the site are good from a resource, from a bride perspective, but don't give that direct revenue generation Techcelerate, it's very difficult, you know, that you get traffic over here that you can hopefully sell to someone over here. And that's why we've you know, I guess quite hastily decided that, you know, from the research and looked at going down the store route. So we see in the UK at the moment there isn't that shining store that does what we want to do.
But, you know, store, wedding lists, all that sort of thing.
That's, yeah.
I know that that's revenue that you could touch and feel. And how much have you invested so far?
There's been, so in the last 18 months or so, about 75, of which most of that has gone into salary and freelancer costs and site development.
Is that salary costs for
Victoria? So I run a full-time job alongside the involvement in this at the moment.
So the chunk of that 75k is paying for her salary to do
About
this?
30 that has been, yeah, outside.
150k is quite a significant amount on top of that. I mean, you say you want to do website development. I mean, if it's a store, you can get products off the shelf more or less.
Yeah, so it's based around Magento, so it's going to be a free open source. This is based around, it may be less, if you felt that you liked what we were doing, and there was but you didn't feel that 150 was the right amount. I'm sure we could look at how we could other options.
But you're saying you 150k, you want to do website development.
Yeah.
You need some people. Well, I'm not quite sure what they'd be doing, and you also want to do some marketing.
Yeah. So marketing would be primarily about brand awareness. So getting us in front of some of the magazines. There's a number of other leading blogs that would be good for us to advertise on as well, although they're not as expensive. So if you look at Bright magazine, it's about 18k for the year, but that is probably the closest to our target demographic. I'm not saying we'd go for the full page in every issue they did, but just as an example. In terms of people, what we would look to have is primarily product people to help us find the right products and get them on the site so that they can be sold. So we don't need a lot of people. The business plan is people working part-time, 2-3 days a week. It needs to be very slick and styled, so a lot of the effort goes into that.
So website development could be as little as 10k?
Yeah.
The people to source products, if they're doing it part-time, could be as little as, say, 20k?
So it could be, yeah.
So you're looking at over 100k on marketing, which is...
the split I had in the plan I put together last night was not that big, no. So it was I'm trying to think, it was about... I have to remember, I have to dig up on my laptop. But there was more people cost than 20k in there. It was probably more 60 to 70 over the year. So still building up as revenue grew as well.
I mean, my background is marketing in
Yeah.
high-tech companies, and my view would be get the online store working, get more products on there, don't pay a fortune for advertising, but use case studies and PR to drive revenue as well as online.
Yeah.
And you should be able to choose what you want for a fraction of that price.
And that'd be good. I think it's I didn't want to come and ask for too little.
You succeeded in that regard.
Well, if you were interested, you looked at it and said, actually, scratch, and you could do it for 30, 40 or whatever.
Oh, you're coming down too low now.
Then we'd have a good debate.
Is that pounds?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.